Hi guys, welcome back to the Mina Does Art Stuff YouTube channel. My name is Mina and on this channel we do art stuff. Today we are going to be looking at granulating black pigments. So the one that most people know about is PBK11 or Mars Black or Lunar Black. Black iron oxide, goes by a few different names, but I have a couple of other variations to look at as well, which I thought would be interesting to share. So before I get too far ahead of myself, this is part of my colour comparison series. So please let me know if there are any specific pigments or colours that you would like to see in this series. I may or may not have them in the lineup already. If not, then I can always, and if I have enough versions of a colour to do a comparison video, I will definitely add it to the list. Otherwise, yeah, let me know in the comments which version of a granulating black do you prefer. Do you even like using a granulating black? They can be really interesting in mixes. Otherwise, I will have links to everything down below in the description box. Some of the links may be affiliate links. All that means is I get a small commission if you make a purchase after clicking through on one of those links. It does not cost you anything extra, but it does help support the channel, and I always greatly appreciate it when people use my affiliate links. Okay, I think that's everything, and let's just jump right into it. I also, before we get into it, I'm using my Da Vinci Colineo size 8 round brush and Arches 100% cotton cold pressed paper. I'm using the same material, same brush and paper in all the videos to try and keep it consistent, and I will always have those materials linked below as well. So starting off, we're going to start with the ones that are named Mars Black. So first off, we have Shinka's Mars Black. I don't have this one in a palette at the moment to dip into. I'm just going to blob a little bit onto the paper there. So PBK11 or Black Iron Oxide, Lunar Black, whatever different brands call it by different names, is the pigment that is used by Rembrandt and or Van Gogh for their dusk colours, which were really popular a while ago. They also show up in a lot of the Shinka super granulation mixes as well, and yeah, it's just a highly granulating black pigment. And adding a fair bit of water usually helps to show up that granulation quite nicely. So I will be adding some drops of water to each one to get a good representation, or as good a representation of the granulation as possible. Next up we have Turner's Mars Black. Oh, there we go. That's up here in the corner. This is a really inexpensive version of Mars Black. Turner paint has a tendency to crack in the palette, but doesn't affect the quality or the usability of the paint. And it's definitely a very affordable artist grade watercolour. Next up we have the Winsor & Newton Mars Black down here in the corner. It's interesting that the Winsor & Newton version looks a lot warmer than the Turner and Shinka version, even though they're all PBK11. Okay, next up we have Black Iron Oxide by SAA, which is the Society for All Artists. That's a website here in the UK, but they also produce some of their own watercolours under their house brand. Okay, and this is their PBK11. It's a very rich pigmented variation. Next up we have Roman Schmall's Mars Black. So Roman Schmall have two versions of PBK 11. They have Mars Black, which is the one I'm swatching here, and they also have Aquarius Black, which I don't have. So let's build a bit. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Mars Black is the more pigmented version of PBK 11 that they carry. I think the Aquarius Black is more heavily granulating, but not as dark a black pigment. So probably more similar to like the ones at the top. So those were all the PBK 11 pigments that I had to share. Now we're going to look at some more unique black pigments. First up we have Cobalt Black by Magello. This is not a pigment I have seen offered by another brand, so it'll be interesting to see how this one compares. This is a very granulating black pigment. Next up from Shinka we have Hematite. And this one's PG17, which is interesting because that's usually chromium green oxide or chromium oxide green. But this is like a greyish black colour. It's definitely more on the grey side. Okay, next up we have two colours by Daniel Smith, both from their Primatech line. One is Hematite and the other one is Black Tourmaline. So first up we have Hematite, or Hematite, not sure how it's meant to be pronounced, but so their version is definitely more on the brown black side. And finally we have a Black Tourmaline, also by Daniel Smith from their Primatech line. That's it for this set of colours. You can already see some of that granulation really kicking in with some of these colours. Yeah, these are beautiful. Okay, I'm going to set these aside to dry and then we'll be back to take a look at them once it's all dried off. Okay, back with our granulating black pigments. I think this one's a little bit easier for me to say which ones are my favourites, etc. I'd say the three in the middle here are actually my favourites. I really like the Magello Cobalt Black. It has really interesting granulation and really large particle sizes, so you get some really interesting uneven granulation going on. That Roma Schmall Mars Black is stunning. And the SAA one, Black Iron Oxide, again, you get really nice dark black in the mass tone and beautiful granulation throughout as well. So those three are the ones that get a big tick from me. I won't be keeping any of the tubes I have for the ones on the top row. So that's the Shinka Mars Black, Turner's Mars Black, Winsor & Newton Mars Black. They're all beautiful as well. I just prefer the granulation and texture from these ones. So those would be surplus to requirements. I'm not going to be keeping my Schmincke Hematite. It's a nice soft grey, doesn't have that strong a granulation. It's just not a colour I would go for very often, so I'm not going to hang on to it. And the Daniel Smith Hematite and Black Tourmaline, again, they're alright. I have half pans of each. I don't need to hang on to the tubes. I don't actually have a tube of the Hematite, I only have the half pan. I do have a half tube of the Black Tourmaline, so that one's probably going to go as well, because I don't really see myself using it that much. So yeah, oh, I realised I haven't peeled the tape off. Get a better look at it without the tape on there. There we go. So yeah, that's my opinion on those ones. Let me know what you think. Which ones are your favourites? Like I said, the middle row is my favourite of the lot, but let me know which ones you like. Alright, thanks for joining me for this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye!